and it's on you.
Hey, it's Tiberius, Asante, the man monster, Egyptian musk, whatever you want to call it, and you are listening to the Three Count podcast.
Bad. And then we'll get this thing started in 3, 2, 1. Well, by now, if you're hearing that theme song, that usually means that this is now entering 201. And I'm your host, Clifford Red Dog Miller, the man that leads you up that mountain called wrestling. And, we've said it all now, entering the ring. As your Sherpa, I would just hope you say with me, I am your Sherpa because, like your tribal chief, acknowledge me. But like every good Sherpa, you gotta have someone who's been there, done that, and can do it more efficiently than you can. That's why it's never about me. It's about who's entering the ring. So who's entering the ring? You can find this man at 1CW. You can find this man at VCW. You can find this man at Next Up. You can find this man at the Wrestling Independent. You can find this man traveling around up and down the East Coast. You can even catch him on MLW somewhere in the background or somewhere just delivering massive choke slams to random ass people. He is the man monster himself, Tiberius Asante.
Hey, I love the intro, brother.
Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. I was looking back. I was trying to figure out when the last time was that you and I had talked on the podcast. It was episode 183. And at the time of recording, right, the day of recording this, episode 389 has come out. And I was like, oh my God, it's been so long since we have talked.
It's been some years, brother.
But it's funny because like we be catching each other in the locker rooms up until the point where I moved. And then even just so randomly, like we pop up, we saw each other at SWA and, you know, we still catch up, we still talk all the time. But I was like, yeah, damn, bro, like it has been a hot minute because we have gone through a lot of changes since we first met. And even when we first had you on the show.
Drastic changes, man. Like, it's been an incredible journey just in that short time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
Well, like I think about you too, because like the one thing that has biggest change, right, was like you added on some mass, right, and then you just got cut. You're just like you are literally the man monster now. Like you are just a whole beast, and then the storylines that you got wrapped up with, with Prolific as well as with Adriana and stuff. And it's been fun to watch like your growth as a character and the things that you guys do. So like
Yeah.
I'm always excited to watch you do whatever it is that you're doing. I mean, even like the tag run that you had, the reality era, was like really fun to watch happen. And it's like I said, it's like fun watching you grow in this business.
Yeah. It's like watching a little brother grow. It's like, oh, look at him. Look at him go. Look at you do, you big bro.
I mean, yeah, I mean, because I guess it would be your older bro. I'm just like watching you because you're a whole like foot taller than me.
I mean, I'm,
Well,
I'm
all right.
taller
I'm
than
five
most.
ten. I'm 5'10". You're not 6'10", but you're a tall ass dude.
Yeah, it's crazy because like being tall, like you see it from the like from our perspective, it doesn't seem like that. But then you watch yourself on TV, and you're like, okay, yeah, you're a big guy. You're big.
And the cool thing too about it too is like we even got to do like training sessions together, and what people don't get to see, at least at the time, is like how athletic you like really are. Like I think people miss that part.
It's cause yeah, I mean, especially since I don't see like I'm like once I hit to this big stage or once I get to where I want to be, then I will do all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like right now, let me save all that crazy fifth gear, sixth gear stuff for when like I have to really like show my ass. Right now, I'll still show my ass or anything like that. You know what I mean? But I just don't go bald. Like I could jump off the concrete if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I'll save it for when it really, really, really matters.
Yeah, and it's funny because like as I watch you kind of like mature and move and go from area to area, and then like you get to do like all the stuff that you're developing your character. I'm just kind of curious, like what's been your go-to thing to help like pull something for your character?
Man, it's like so I'm a horror fan at heart, you know what I'm saying? But I also like the whole culture thing. So at the time, like I can use an example, like the whole like the prolific Ruthless Lala stuff that was going on. What really like pushed that was like um the whole like I was also watching The Mummy. So like hearing him talk, you know what I'm saying, his ancient tongue, I was like, yo, I could turn this up some, you know what I mean? Like get the ancestors and I'm talking to them, but I use a special dialect. And then the horror aspect of it as far as like me like being obsessed with the conjuring at the time. Like the idea we had was like, you know, what if the ancestors are really the ancestors that you're talking to? And it's like some dark entity and that's really why I'm out here acting crazy and talking, you know what I'm saying? You know, my whole moniker allows the guys, it looks like I'm talking to nothing. Like, it's a lot of the it's a lot of like real stuff with me because like I'm such a horror fanatic. So like if I can put a little bit into it, plus being a big guy and then a little bit of my African stuff into it, then
It's funny
it's
because like
there.
even for me, like I love the aspect of where like a dude just randomly just be staring and I'm having a conversation and with you, and then they're like, "Who are you talking to?" And it's like, "Y'all don't hear that?" It's like I have fun like doing that kind of stuff where like I've done it with pure ignorance where like we'll cut a promo and I'll just be in the middle of the conversation and like I turn sideways and I'll just be looking this way and then come back and they're like, "What was that?" I was like, "What was what?" And then but like I've always thought about like how funny that would be where like I wanted to cut promos where like I went and I think I'm still gonna try to do this, right? Where like Chaz and I will be cutting a promo, right? But we'll be together and then it'll be like me, myself, Chaz and Prince, right? And we'll all be cutting a promo. And then I'll look off to the distance to say something, and then Prince is like, "What was that?" And Chaz was like, "I don't know. He just does that randomly." And then when it becomes myself, Chaz, Prince, and Noah, like I'll do it again, right? And then Noah will be like, "What is that?" And then Prince will say, "Oh, he just does that from time to time. Don't worry about him."
He does that all the time. Don't worry about
Right. But then what's gonna be funny is when we include our other guy, Chris, right? We include
it.
Chris. I'll turn sideways and I'll go to talk, and then Noah will go to say something, and it'll cut to Chris, and Chris will say something to the camera randomly. And so I'm like, "You can do it too," and then like we're like, "Yeah," we're like, "Oh, whoa!" And
Yeah,
everybody's like, "What?"
it makes it fun.
Yeah, I was like, I think about that stuff all the time, where it's like, how do I get to mix like my character stuff into like their character stuff? So obviously, PI is like all about like, yeah, we for Baltimore, we tough, like we gangsters and stuff like that. And then
Tough
there's me.
motherfuckers out.
And then there's me.
and, yep, and then you come in with like the comedy gold, you know what I'm saying? Like it balances out so it's not just like, all right, we know they ignorant and just want to beat people. Oh, hold up. That was funny. All right, I see what they got. I see what's going
It'd be funny because like I always think about like if we're like doing like a thing where we can all be together, and then someone would just be like brothers and Cliff, and then like,
on. Brothers and sisters. Oh, and Cliff.
and,
We are
and
gathered here.
and Red Dog, like you're cool. I always think about like like the fun angles that you can spin with it and stuff. I've always like had this fascination of just like putting myself in situations where like like whatever he did to get into the group, like he did some stuff to get in, but now he's like the wild one. Like, why is he the way he is? Like, uh, I'll share this with you, and then you guys will get to hear about this too. There's a new logo that's being made for Pure Ignorance. We'll see if Chaz pays attention to the show, whether he sees this or not. But I made it to where like I pulled a bunch of like the images from My Little Pony, the new series, like My Friendship is Magic,
Yeah.
and like I took some of the characters and I sent them to a friend of mine. I was like, "Yo, I need you to make this, and I need you to say these things, right?" So like, I have Chaz as a My Little Pony, and it says like I'm the Dawn, and then it says Prince is like I'm the Pusher P, right? And then I'm the Pusher, Noah says, I'm the young bull, right? Because that's the thing that he says. And then
Yo,
Chris is like, I'm the swole one, swole idol. And then there's me, and it says, I put the hug and thug. I was like, yo,
that's gold.
these are things I think of like all the random time. I'm like, bro, this would be so fun to have. And I don't know. I'm I'm like the oddball about it. That's why I think my dynamic works with those guys.
It works very well, man. It works very well. It's very entertaining on both sides.
Bro, so for you, like what okay, so you got to be at MLW, you know, and I know, like Carlson, he was out on the NWA. Shout outs and congratulations, him and Adriana. Um, what's the goals, man? Like what are we looking to do in the next
Man,
we'll just say next year.
by next year, see, I got this thing where every time I see something or I write a list, part of that list happens. So I'm gonna minimize the list for next year. Last year I said it I wanted to do I wanted to get on TNA and MLW and it ended up happening. This year I'm saying NXT, WWE, and that is the list right there. You know what I mean? Like that's the goal, man. Like I say I get myself to like 40, 45, and if nothing happens from there, then I'll go ahead and sit my black behind down. But until then, like I'm striving to get quality matches. Wrestle, as a good friend of mine says, stop wrestling eat shit people. You know what I'm saying? If I can help someone get better, so that it also, makes both of us look good. But the thing is, I want these quality matches. I want to make sure, like, I could do the extra work. I want to be able to travel as much as possible to get my name out there. I think one of the people that posted, I think Phineas Preach, he posted it saying if you didn't make the list, like you need to get out there, go to these other shows, travel, get out there. Like I want to go to the West Coast. That's why I started asking about more Midwest stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot, and then eventually I'm gonna already speak this too because it almost happened this year. I'm gonna speak the whole going to another country to wrestle too.
That'd be lit. That's like my goal for next year is to go to Canada, wrestle a
Yeah,
match in Canada. That's really like the big goal. And then my
yeah.
other fun goal, hey Kev, I know you pay attention to this show. Uh Make the PWI 500. Like
Hey,
I put it out there. I ain't gonna front. I'm a mark for
hey,
myself,
I
man.
got look. Somebody made a good point. They were like, I'll just sum it up. Like, I want to make it, but I want to earn it. I don't want
Yeah.
to. I want to earn it. I want to be like, you had no choice but to fucking put me in there because I've been making noise. You can't stop hearing about me. You can't
Yep.
stop seeing me. You can't stop seeing my shirts. You can't. I'm everywhere, brother.
I I have a friend, he's a promoter up in the New England area. He just asked me, he's like, "Yo, who's your top 10 people you want to work?" I was like, "Listen, there's an entire list of people in the PWI that I want to work." And I was like, "That's what I want the gimmick to be next year is that anybody who made the top 500 either the year before or this year, like they're on the hit list." I was like, as a wrestling character, I think it just makes sense that somebody somewhere wants to take out one of the top targets. What better way to start to find the people that are on the list? And he was like, I hope I can be fucking Santa Claus for you. And I was like, let's go. Tell me that again. I was
Man,
like, I'm trying.
I hope you can make that happen, bro. Because like, so much talent. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Especially if you get that schedule like we all want. Ooh.
absolutely.
Nice.
I'm gonna be fair though, man. Like for me, because I I'm tipping 40. You know what I mean? I'm in my last years of 39 30s and get ready to get into my 40s. I know that I'm not going to be running this forever and I know like I'm not going to be, maybe extra work at the E one time in Baltimore or in like Boston, I don't know, maybe. I don't really know. But for the most part, man, it's more just I'm just here to have fun now. Like I'm just going to enjoy, put on some banger matches with some of my friends and then just fucking who cares? Just go after that. I want to be a talent scout, help find, indie talent that are going to come up to the area and want to work and have some fun, whether they're in the DMV, Pennsylvania, Jersey, Connecticut, I don't care, Maine. Just want to go look at new talent and talk to new people, bring people on the podcast I think that's all really I want to do for like. Then after that, stand up comedy.
Hey, I can see you doing that. I could definitely see you doing that. No, I like that though, because like it's what you said is like giving back to the business. You know what I mean? Helping the younger generation. And like you said, having fun. That is the main thing. Like here, like I was also told, like if you're not having fun, then you're wasting your time. Because like if you're not having fun, yeah, you have to love what you do in order to be good at
Yeah, I think why one big thing too is a lot of people forget that not only do you have to have fun, like we all got into this because we fell in love with like the business, like well, maybe not, and maybe not so much the business, right? But we fell in love with pro wrestling. Like we wanted to be in pro wrestling. We wanted to be Shawn Michaels. We want to be Bret Hart. We want to be Stone Cold. We want to be John Cena. We want to be Roman Reigns. We want to be those guys because we enjoy what we do. And so, even for me, I love to treat every wrestling show like it is WrestleMania. Like I walk out there and I'm like, yo, talk whether I'm a heel, I'm talking shit to people, or I'm a face, and I'm out here, you know, sitting with the crowd like in a random chair because somebody decided to get up and just go take a pee break and then they left their chair. So I just went and sat in it and then just started talking with fans. Like, yo, I just think it's just so much fun. Like, why am I gonna sit back here and be like, oh man, like did, there's only 13 people in the crowd. I'm just gonna phone it in today. I think then get out because somebody else wants to do this, and you're like, I'm a bitter dude. Like I've been doing this for umpteen years, and I used to wrestle in front of like 500 people. Oh well, you're not anymore. Like what you doing now,
it.
bro? Somebody out there like wanted to wrestle you, and then you just like ruined it for them, And it's like
Yeah,
I don't want to be that guy. I want people to be like, I legit had a person tell me they're like, do you still do the grenade spot? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. They're like, can we do that in our match? I'm like, absolutely.
brother, I thought you never
Yeah,
asked.
let's go. We're all about this life. No, but it's those things, man. That like, oh, people can see that you're having fun, and it's so important that like this thing matters that way, and that you want to have fun with that kind of stuff. What's what is let's see, what's your dream opponent? Like where are you trying to go? Who are you trying to face?
Man, my dream opponent then already got signed, so I'm like, when I get there, yeah, it's gonna be Jacob Fatu. That's definitely the dream. You know what I'm saying? Now, I guess since that's the E. You know what I'm saying? Let me dial it down a little bit. Let's see. The next person on that list would have to be. mm, Tough one right there. That's a tough one. I know it's wanted to work with Calvin Tank Moon, so that's one I can put up there too.
He is a whole
Calvin
beast.
Tank Moon. I know, yo, but like when I seen him in person, I was like, okay, all right, you know. He's not that tall. It's the TV at the time. So it would be good. His thickness, my tallness, we still have a banger. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you've got to work like a bunch of people like who have made the list, right? Like on the PWI list, you've got to work a few names. But I know, like for me, one of my favorite matches was watching you and Grim work. Mr. Graham,
That
for
was
those who don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a dope match at Fight. You guys just tore it down, and I got to go back and watch that match over again. I was like, bro, just so much fun that to watch you guys do your thing as you're like bouncing in and out.
Man, Grim taught me a lesson though with that match. Like the whole he gave me some advice, which I try to apply it in a lot of matches. Sometimes I overthink myself, and I probably end up applying it. But like turn just the whole remember I was telling you the whole turning it up. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of keeping it one dial tone because I thought the dial tone was still the old school playbook for the big man. You know what I mean? As I was told at the time. But he's like, dude, he's like, what do you want to do? We can do it. I was like, oh, well, all right, let's go. You know what I mean? I went to my Briscoe bag a little bit because that's how I used to move. I used to move. That's what I used to be like. Yeah, like when I was put on stream by Mark and Tate, it was like, Billy, you're trained by Mark and Tate, but you can't move like they're like you're too big. You know what I'm saying? Slow it down so you can make it matter and all this other stuff. But it's just it's knowing when to turn it up. And that was the whole thing I had to learn with that shit. So yeah, shout out to Grim because that was a learning experience for me.
Yeah, working Grim, I got to work him at Voltage. We were in a tag match. Um, no, it was just definitely a lot of fun because he's there. He's gonna let you know like what's happening. He talks you through the match. Like it's pretty cool for me. I was down for that. And then like he gonna let you know he's there. He's gonna let you like
Oh
here's
yeah,
what
yeah,
he's
yeah.
out. He definitely he stays calm. I like that aspect of it because I like feeling the contact versus like oh you whiffed me 100%.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was great working with Grim. Oh, I thought about it. Well, my dream opponent because it's going to happen, and that's Darius Carter. I've been always had that man on my list because I like how he works. He is a genius with his heel work. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, man. I love watching him work, and I definitely want to be a. I want to work that. I want to work with Darius.
Did I ever tell you that he was my second opponent?
He was.
Yeah,
Oh man, see, you already got it. That's awesome.
I
That's
worked a
awesome.
triple threat with him.
I'm putting that right on the resume.
I definitely thought it was cool. I because it was so weird too. Was like at the time because I'm not too familiar with like the pro indie scene. So to me, like I it, the aspect the moment just never really like made sense. And I remember Prolific came down. This is where I first met Prolific. Was like my second wrestling show in front of a crowd ever. And
Shout out
Darius,
prolific.
Darius, myself, and Ron Holiday all worked a triple threat match. And so like he just like inserted himself in positions where we talked about it. He's like, well, if you guys worked a match yesterday, yeah, run the same match today, and then I'll just insert myself in the match, and then we'll just go from there. So like he really just wanted to take me and just see like how much I would listen and like what I can do and stuff like that. And then he just we yo the man is a master at his craft for a
Yo,
reason.
he's definitely a master of his craft. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, he
Shout out
knows.
to Darius.
Yeah, huge shout out to Terry. We're still trying to get you on the show, but
Oh
he's
man.
like my he's like the unicorn, the the unicorn for the show. Like I'm just like bro, like he's right there. Like I talk to him all the time. I reach out, and every time I go to like grab, it just like fades away. I'm like no, what's going
No.
on? Oh no. um, but yeah, Darius Carter is definitely is one of mine. I think the one name I have on my list too. There's like for both regions, which is kind of funny. But Facade is mine from like the DMV area and the Pennsylvania area, and then
Okay.
in the New England area is Alec Price.
Alec Price. I've heard of Alec Price.
Yeah,
Yeah. Alec
he's a
Price is one.
whole monster,
Yeah.
bruh. The man, he's just he moves so well. He's just in and out. He knows how to tell great stories. Like,
Yeah.
bruh, I was like, and he knows it too because I've told him, like, I've talked to him about it, and he's just like, bro, anywhere you can go anytime. I was like, I know we can.
Do it. Let's just do it.
It's like I'm
Like,
trying
kind
to
of
get
who
this.
Bookers.
Yo, and actually, one of my friends, he's asked me, he was like, "Yo, that was the first name I put on the list." I was like, "Right there, you know who it is." I was like, "You've already had him on the show once, bro. Bring him back. Let me get it." It's like trying to deliver hands here. So, he's definitely one of those guys. But yeah, and I think it's funny too, man, because like when you start working in different areas and stuff like in different regions, like you start to realize like you can always tweak things with like the crowd. So like maybe like the crowd really doesn't like characters; they like big wrestling, right? Or some places really like characters. So you have to like it's weird to like have to adjust the nozzles every once in a while to like figure out where you're
that,
gonna fit in a place.
that's that whole calling on the fly, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you're not the first match and you're observing other matches, like you're like the fourth match before intermission, and you saw what didn't work, what did work, and it's like, okay, I know what kind of crowd this is. Bang, 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 bang. You can construct the match then instead of trying to construct the match when your opponent gets into the building and there's no crowd yet.
Yeah, and it's weird too because like I don't know how many bar like if you've worked in front of like bar crowds before, but like sometimes, man, like a bar crowd doesn't want you to be like the big character. They just want to see you hit big moves because
Yeah,
they're all drinking. They know what's going on. They're just like hit him with the spine buster.
yeah, yeah. I just did a bar show, my first bar show actually at Super Crazy in Jersey, and I'm glad my match was like a big man kind of match at first, and then it turned into a little bit of comedy. I'm glad it was like that because hard hitting and then getting them to laugh was one of the two things that worked. Everything else, everybody else is up there trying to wrestle, and yeah, some of it worked because they knew people, but other than that, it's a quiet night for that.
Mm. What was I gonna ask you about? There was another thing I had to ask you. What's your what's your go-to like style? Like I know like you're based more kind of like the brawler type, brawler big man type kind of wrestling, but like if you didn't have to and you wanted to incorporate some different style into it, what's that style that you're trying to incorporate?
Now it's like, yo, it's kind of like strong style or the Japanese way, mixed with still like the old school big man. You know what I'm saying? I still do a little trap pull, but like we're getting physical for a good minute, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like I love the whole splash the dude in the corner. I hit the next corner like I'm about to bounce off the corner to come back, but then he's bam got me right there. But then as soon as he goes, bam, I'm right there. And we go again, turn around, do some like I love that shit. Or the whole like standing there and exchanging clotheslines. Like, come on, brother. You know what I'm saying? Or exchanging like that whole just strong man warrior. Which one's gonna fall first? Or two rams going into each other. You know what I'm saying? Like I love those matches. Matches like I had with Tomahawk. And we've had two matches. Shout out Tomahawk. Like we've had some bangers.
Tomahawk, that's another dude. That's another dude that I worked and we worked at the EWA's Sweet 16. This was like 3 years ago now. We only got like 5 minutes, but man, you would have thought it was back in the day, jacked up on ESPN. We were just full force, like hitting it like crazy, and then we actually ran into each other at SWA, and then right after that, the next SWA show we worked, and now we're kind of like in this little program together because I told TJ the moment I saw that he was attached, I was like, bro, put me in a program with Tomahawk ASAP. And then this man came out and like hit me with a gut shot with a chair. And before I got to say anything, man, I hear, "Hey, yo, take this chair shot." Crack! And the whole chair bent around my back. And I was like,
Good. Yeah, he don't hold back. That's the good thing. Like that's why I was like, okay. Because like I said, like bro, when it comes to like in physical, I let them set the tone, and I'm like, all right, that we going with that. That's what you getting. You know what I
yo,
mean?
yo, he cracked me, and I just the first thought in my head was Denzel, like Denzel Washington. I was like, "Oh, you motherfucker! Ah, hit me with the chair!"
Boy, true. Mm. Yeah.
But, actually, I think I do have I have the picture on my like um not on this set. So we have different sets for this show. Not on this one, but on the other one I have. I'll show you. I'll show you after the show. You guys don't get to see it. Um yo, I remember like just hearing in a crowd too. And I'm glad that Tama hit me the way he did too, because the crowd, ooh, like
Yeah, the whole
you could
gas.
hear a
Oh.
pin drop, like how loud it was. Like, yo, the crowd just went deaf. Like, and I was like, oh, it hurt, but God, that sounds so cool.
It was worth it, brother.
100%. And so like I know we're working like a tag match in November, and then we'll see what happens after that. I know TJ, he'll probably have some plans to push me in direction, but I'm hyped about like I don't know. I'm hyped about working him because like he knows, and he knows it just like I do. Like I was like, "Yo, you're definitely one of the guys on my list." I'm like, I have to get a match in with you. Also, let's be real, Tiberius, we need a match.
Oh shit, yeah, we haven't even had a match. We just had
No,
confirmation. That's it. Yeah,
we had
man.
one moment in time, and one CW crowd loved that exact
Shoot.
moment.
If we ever have to, I think we got. So we got a tag match this. Me and Chris Wow got a tag match Saturday at 1CW. So you find yourself a tag partner sometime in the future, maybe we could talk to 1CW, see if they can get a match
I know a couple gentlemen.
range.
They
Yeah.
they around. They know it.
Uh-huh. Man.
um, but yeah, no, like, and it's fun because I love telling like the big guy, little guy story. Like that's in the wheelhouse for me. Like it's fun because people are like, "Oh shit! Like what's gonna happen? Oh, he's getting his ass kicked. Oh, he's starting to come back. Oh no, he got shut down."
Yeah. Making everything count. And
Mm,
like knowing how to tell the story with the big guy, little guy. Some people forget that art.
100%. Yo, I'm gonna swap this out, right? So we're gonna go into what I like to call pin, submit, DQ. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you three of something. You got to pin one, submit one, DQ one. So we're gonna start this off with three familiar foes, three familiar friends of yours, right? We're gonna go with BT Windsor. We're gonna go with Sean Carlson, and then we're gonna go with the one, the only Hobo.
um, let's see. Pin Hobo. Already. Oh, yeah, me and Hobo working. DQ, BT Windsor, and submit Sean Carlson.
All right, so the
Yeah.
next three, uh, also you're gonna enjoy, right? So we're gonna take Joker, we're gonna take Killmonger, and then we're gonna take Doctor Doom.
I think Dr. Doom get DQ'd. That nigga got powers and shit. Like, yo, he get DQ'd, bro. You too much. Nah, you got to Killmonger, you would have to submit him because he ain't gonna let you pin. Like, he gonna die. He'd rather die than give up. So, like, if I gotta break your leg because you don't want to, you know what I mean? If I get the opportunity, Joker's risky to pin, but I'm gonna have to go pin. Are we talking about the new Joker in the theaters? Because yeah, I could fit it. Cripple his fragile self.
Yeah,
But
I'm just when I think about it, like the the laughing was it the Batman who laughs? Like, yeah, no, I'm not pinning that guy. That guy just will destroy everything. I'm not about that life.
should have DQ'd
uh
him.
the last three, right? Um we're gonna take this. Some people are pretty upset with a certain person, so we're just gonna go ahead and take it. Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and Lil Wayne.
Man, well, man, see, I had to DQ Lil Wayne because, like, man, go ahead, bro. You can't even start to not remember your lyrics anymore. So just go and take that knee, bro. Um, submit Drake because we can't battle for nothing. I make him lose the lyrics, and then pin Kendrick because he's short.
I like it. I like it. But, well, that's our rendition of Pin Submit DQ. So the last thing I need is for you to let our fans and our listeners and our viewers know where they can find you.
You can find me on all social platforms. That is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Tiberius, Asante. And make sure you go to Brainbusters and get the tea. I don't know if y'all can see it. Bring it in. Yeah. Get you one. It's nice.
Well, he told you where you can find him. He told you about his show, his t-shirts, Brain Buster, and you guys know what that means. It's like our greatest part, our favorite part of every wrestling match. We gotta take this home because this is the 3 Count Presents, now entering 201, and I'm your host, Clifford Red Dog Miller, the man that leads you up that mountain called wrestling. And like every girl Sherpa, it's not me. It's not about me. It's about who's entering. So who's entering? You see that man right there. He is the man monster himself, Tiberius Asante. And you know what to do. Tune in to the next episode and be there. Or you're legitimately follow us on all of our social media platforms. You're subscribed to our YouTube channel. You're also leaving a like and a comment and sharing that with your friends. You're also listening to us on Amazon Music, or you're even listening to us on Spotify and following us on Spotify. Or you're listening to us on that dumb app with the stupid jingle that goes iHeartRadio or whatever it is. You're checking us out on ProWrestlingTees.com. You're even checking us out on ForYourWear.com, buying all of our merch. You're telling your mom about it, your dad about it, your auntie, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters. You're telling your best friends and your enemies because we love haters too. You're doing all that stuff, or really you're just kind of waiting for this episode to end, waiting for the outro, and then you're choosing another episode to listen to. Kawaii.